Alright guys, I just bought this master cylinder for the rear of the Super Tenere and I'm going to install it. So what is happening is that my rear brake has stopped working. So now if you hit it, it just goes all the way down and it doesn't stop. There is no power at all. You know, sometimes it does develop some power if I hit the front brake and I hit the rear. And I do find that it does kick in the ABS when I hit the rear really hard because I try to test it. I've bled the system several times, and after bleeding, one time I bled the front and the rear, and for a while, and it did work for about 500 miles, and then it went flat again. But I've loosened this a little bit. Sometimes it could be a little bit hard to get these two bolts. Go, and just put this aside. I'm gonna go ahead and remove this, and then it's gonna leak fluid all over. There we go. So there goes the cotter pin. I've straightened it out. Now I just have to push it through. There we go. You're starting to see it come out, and that's the pin on the back. The only thing that's there is this pin. There's a washer on the other side, and then there's this little tiny cotter pin that goes in that hole like this. So that's the only thing that holds it in there. I'm going to thread this in just a bit because we want to be able to break this. It's a little bit on the tough side here. There we go. And there goes all the oil. Now we're going to remove this. And yet, look at a lot of oil is falling on the floor. Let's just remove the top bolt. I'm going to get the new one almost right away. I'm just going to put it in here really quick. So, old cylinder, new cylinder, and now what I can do is just remove this one. So the oil started dripping out of here. We're going to have to rebleed the system all together again, but at least now this one is on here. I'm just going to go ahead and take this, kind of put it this way. There we go. Cotter pins in. Now I'm just going to remove this thing. I should have removed this before. Okay, the way to get this out, it's on a little hinge, and you just kind of pry it off. And now I'm just going to take this, put it on the new master cylinder, clip it, and put it on here. I'm not going to bolt it onto the top yet. It's a little bit hard to see, but I'm not going to bolt it yet because I need to fill it up with fluid. We're going to tighten this, and you don't need it to be too tight. You just need to make sure it doesn't seep through. So this is on there. Now I'm going to put the plate back on there. All right, now we're going to have to fill the reservoir. These bikes, you know, I've never really had an ABS bike, but I want to show you how to cycle the ABS so you properly pump the or bleed the brake. So here you have this connector. So this is the connector. Pull this out. This is my jumper cable, just running to each other. And then I'm going to take the black and the blue. Just make sure everything is right. And you put it together. So you have to jump these two top wires. So the little copper bits. Sure you have your kill switch to off. And it's funny because your headlights do not start if you have it on off. I didn't realize that. Let go. All right, new master cylinder is in. The brakes have been bled. I I bled the rear brake, I didn't bleed the front brake. Normally you have to do both, but since I did the front brake just a while ago, 500 miles, I'm not gonna do it. If it goes bad, I'll probably just bleed the entire system again. Okay, I have the new master cylinder in, I have it bled, and now it's time just to take it for a ride. Okay, let's test out this brake. I'm actually gonna put my mileage, mile 2 at 0, because I want to be able to see if it goes bad and what mileage. Okay, so I'm at a very large parking lot here, and I'm going to hit my brakes. Yep, works. Now I want to see if the ABS comes on. Yeah, the ABS does pump up, so yeah, ABS pumps up. Yeah, look at it, it doesn't skid or anything. That's amazing. So if I hit the front brake just a little bit and the rear, that's much more powerful. The Super Tenere comes with link braking. So the link braking, it's a good idea, but it gives you a little bit less individual control. So, but for me, it's fine. It is the master cylinder. It's much better than the ABS pump, but still, I am a little disappointed that the master cylinder went bad, if that's the case, because I'm not expecting a master cylinder to go bad. It's actually the first time I've ever had anything go bad on this bike, but it does have 62,000 miles. But you know, my V-Strom, I haven't had anything go bad, so kind of makes me wonder. This is a first year model. Burtonsville Cars and Coffee meets every Sunday in the morning, and there's really no time set. People come here like at 8 in the morning, which is crazy. It's right now like 9, and I'm going to be one of the last ones there. But here we go. Here's some fancy cars. Look at that one. And then there's a Corvette. There's a lot of Corvettes that come here. Look at that. Look at that fancy. Volkswagen Beetle. There's a lot of historic cars here. Oh, a Datsun. You see the usual suspects here. Here's the Corvette. That's the mid-engine one. You still got the sticker on there. Kind of neat, like seeing all of these cars here. I think I'll just do like a quick shoot. So many Corvettes. I wish Corvettes met at a different place. This thing. Well, this is a Dodge. Look at that. That's amazing. This is a 300ZX with flip-up doors. I was talking to the owner, and he got this. He found it in a barn I think he was down in VIR, so he also restores Jags, which is kind of interesting. But original color, he did nothing to this car, to this truck, and it's all original. Even the paint is original. It's quite amazing. Another really interesting thing about this pickup truck is that on the inside, that's a very narrow seat. Like usually Americans, I don't know how they fit in here, but I guess back then they were a little bit smaller. This thing has got 6,000 miles. I can't really tell with the pointer. So the owner did no work to this whatsoever. Just found it like this in a barn. That's the way to find it. Barely any miles on it. Look at the bed. Actually, the bed is in pretty decent shape, and it's got a good amount of space. You could actually do work with this. And the way you open this is just using these latches, kind of like an old tractor. So I believe this is in 1948. All original. Look at the... I mean, my Ford 150 is all rusted out. This thing is not, does not have one single bit of rust. I think that's the more impressive vehicle here. And I think knowing the history behind it, that he found it just in a barn. Look at the taillights. We have come a long way with taillights. And of course, here's the gas filler. Oh wow, how does the heater work?
Well, the water flows through there. It's got a little electric motor in there. So just like regular. Let me give you my card so you know who it is.
Yeah, the dials. So that's a cigarette lighter. Of course, this is a manual transmission. Just so simple. Look at the key on it. It actually looks like a tractor key. My Lamborghini tractor kind of has that same sort of key. Very simple dials. Steering column just all the way to the floor. Look at those pedals. That's definitely have never seen pedals like that. That's made out of steel. That is an amazing vehicle. 302. This is a big engine.
Yeah,
very easy to work on. I mean, look at that. Just
yeah, you can actually see the floor. The rivets for saddles. I found them on eBay, so I put them on there.
oh, god damn it! I hate it when I leave my key in my pocket after I put my gloves on. Go into corners like this. I want to be able to not really have a lot of fluctuation in the rear. I think it's a lot more stable to have it just a little bit firmer. So I just wanted to test my rear brake. A little bit of a wheelie. Private property. This house is abandoned. So much better. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!
Yes, they deserve to die, and I hope they burn in hell!
Kind of stuck here. The cops won't bother me.